Hello and welcome back to the Football Rundown. We're here today to talk about Stockport County's retain list. The 23-24 retain list has now been released on Bank Holiday Monday. All week last week we were wondering when this retain list would come out, when other teams in League 2 released their retain list. And it was quiet at Edgeley Park. There was no news on what was happening in terms of the retain list. Then it gets to the weekend. You think there's no way they're going to release it on a weekend. Bank Holiday Monday, absolutely no chance they're going to release it on Bank Holiday Monday. So what do? I go out for the day. Luckily, I'm only in Stockport, so I'm in the town centre, and it gets to about 5 o'clock, and my phone's going off, and they have released this retain list. It is now 5:30 or 20 to 6 when I'm recording this now. I've basically jumped on the 192, get home as quick as possible to try and deliver this news to you, and it's some big news, to be honest. It's some very sad news, and it is the news that Paddy Madden is going to be leaving Stockport County on a free transfer, amongst many other players, but I'm sure most people would agree the biggest miss will be Paddy Madden and how brilliant he's been for Stockport County this season and in the whole time he's been at the football club. 65 goals for Stockport County. A lot of people were feeling that he may well stay on for another year and try and chase down that record in League One, but that will not be the case. His time at Stockport County has finished, it's coming to an end, and it's massively disappointing. Before we get into the rest of the retain list, we're just going to go into something which Sam Bernard released actually on Twitter exactly half an hour ago as I'm recording, where he said current Stockport County captain and club legend Paddy Madden will leave Edgeley Park this summer, with the two parties unable to agree on a new deal. The Irishman smashed 65 goals in a 3-year spell with County, inspiring the club to 2 league titles, a county hero, and you can't argue with that. He is well and truly a county hero. His influence has been absolutely, huge for this football club, and he's probably my favourite player at County. Obviously, he won't be anymore, but we're certainly up there with my favourites, and he's a reliable player, that's for sure. And at the age of 34, you wouldn't believe he's 34, and I've said that before, with the way that he plays, the way that he, even to this day, moves on the pitch, and I'm sure his career in the Football League is not finished here, even though it's finished with Stockport County. He will go somewhere else, mark my words, and he will have just as an amazing impact at that other club, wherever he chooses to go. I'd like it to be a League 2 club. I don't, personally, I'd find it very difficult to watch him play for a fellow League 1 side now that we'll be going up to League 1 next season. That would be really, really difficult to watch. And if he did sign for a League 1 side, it would leave me with more questions as to why we couldn't find that deal, why we couldn't agree that deal with Paddy Madden. So like I say, I think it is likely that he's probably going to move on to a League 2 side. When it talks about, not being able to come to terms and come to an agreement between the two parties, that sounds to me more like it's a contractual thing in terms of length of contract. And I did hear someone say a few weeks ago that County have offered him a 1-year deal, but there is another club that's offered him a 2-year deal. That's speculation, of course, but that may well be the case. And if that is the case, then I suppose you can't really blame him too much at his age. You want a longer contract. It's more commitment. It's more of a guarantee as well. So I understand it from that point of view if that is the case, but it's still massively disappointing that he has moved on from Stockport County. So alongside Paddy Madden, there are other players who will be leaving the football club this summer. We're just going to go through the following players as well that will also depart the club following the end of their contracts. Todd Kane, which we knew about, it was only a short-term deal, but he signed back in March. Ryan Crosdale's another huge one because he's been a big player for Stockport County over the last few seasons, but game time has been somewhat limited over the last few weeks. Not that surprising really for me. I kind of expected he may well be moved on, and that turns out to be the case. As I say, Callum Camps has kind of taken his position in the team over the last sort of few weeks, the last few months. So as much of a big player Crosdale's been for us, it's not a surprise to me that he has moved on because of the fact that Callum Camps has come in and been absolutely brilliant. So he's been moved on, Ryan Crosdale, and again, another player that will no doubt have a fantastic club as well to follow. With his career in the EFL, I don't think it's finished. The same with Madden. So he's moved on. Miles Hippolyte's moved on as well. No surprises there. Not really been in the team as much as I think he would have liked this season. So I kind of expected it, but he's again been a brilliant servant for the football club as well. Jordan Smith, who signed from Nottingham Forest in the summer, the backup goalkeeper, he's moved on as well. That's the end of his time at Stockport County. There are saying that Ben Hinchliffe, and I'll get to that in a minute, hasn't yet agreed a new deal, but there are conversations going on there. So maybe that's why Jordan Smith has decided to move on, or County have allowed him to move on. Bobby Jones has also moved on as well. I think he's been out on loan, very much an academy player. Taylor McMahon's moved on as well. He'll be released from Stockport County this summer. And also Christian Mulindwa, I hope I said that correctly. So he's also been moved on. Then we've got a list of players. So these are the following players that are out of contract this summer, but remain in dialogue with the club regarding extended terms. So Ryan Rydell, who I thought might have just moved on anyway. Cody Johnson, Ben Hinchliffe, Macaulay Salvamale's another player that I thought may well have moved on as well. Connor Lemonhay-Evans and Anthony Sarcevic. I mean, from that list you've got there, if I had to pick just 2 players from that list, I'm really hoping we do hold on to, it is Ben Hinchliffe and it is Anthony Sarcevic. Let me know your thoughts on that. Not saying I'd be happy to see the other ones go, but if I had to put it down to 2 of them, then it would have to be them 2, that's for sure. Then, of course, we've got the following players, loan players who have now returned to their parent club: Ben Knight, Reece Bennett, which we expect to Lewis Case, Louis Barry, of course, Rico Richards and Ethan Bristow have all moved on after their loans are finished as well. Of course, a lot of speculation will now be in place around whether or not Louis Barry can make that return to Stockport County for the up and coming season. The same with Rico Richards as well, potentially as well. So these are the following players that are under contracts for the 24-25 season who will remain with the football club: Ethan Pye, Neil Byrne, Jack Stretton, Akil Wright, Fraser Horsfall, Kyle Noyle, Ibal Toure, Callum Camps, Will Collar, Odin Bailey, Nick Powell, Tanto Alafi, Cal Wotton, Ashton Mee, and Jitechi OKK. I think I've said that correctly anyway. Is that the player that's been on loan at Chester potentially as well? I think so. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, it is really, really sad that Paddy Madden will be moving on. I didn't think it would happen, to be honest. I knew that his contract was up this summer, but I thought the club would have reached an agreement with him just because of the sheer influence he's had on the football club. And when you look at the last few games of the season, the last month or so, where we did drop down to second place and form wasn't brilliant, that man stepped up, that man got us over the line, and I think that man really should have had that extra season at Stockport County. Like I say, I don't know who's to blame for that, to be honest, but at the moment I'm not too interested in discussing who's to blame. I'm more interested in talking about what a brilliant player he's been for us in the time that he's been with us, and it will be sad to see him go, and I wonder who's going to step up and take that position for Stockport County for next season, because I expect County to have a solid season in League One, to be honest. I don't think we'll be in a relegation scrap. I do think that, consolidation, I've been saying this for the last few weeks now, staying in the league, trying to get, mid-table, to be honest, it would be the aim. But I think that who's going to be that player that's going to step up and take that role, that Paddy Madden leaves behind at Stockport County? I'm not too sure at the moment, but maybe you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on who you think may well just take that place from Paddy Madden, who's ready to step up and take that role. I'm not too sure at the moment. Possibly someone like Nick Powell, maybe this is the perfect opportunity for him to shine next season, given that the qualities of Paddy Madden this season have been pretty much, even though he's a striker, it has been more what he's offered behind the striker when he's played behind, as sort of a 10, if you like. Nick Powell can do that as well, so maybe we see more out of Nick Powell, who knows, but I'm not too sure at the moment who fills that void from Paddy Madden. But like I say, Ryan Crowsdown moving on as well is another big thing, another big departure as well, but a lot more expected. But obviously still a huge loss, even though some people don't think he would have been good enough for League One, and that has been said in the live streams over the last few weeks as well, to be fair. So that's why it's probably not as much of a surprise that he's been moved on, but it's still a loss, and I think it's still a player to replace. But I suppose we know that we're going to have to improve the squad over the summer, and some players have to make way, and some players have to make room. Be interesting to see what happens as well with the players who remain in dialogue with the football club as well. Obviously, we spoke about the fact that there are a few that are still in dialogue with the football club, and like I said, if I had to pick 2, it's got to be Hinchliffe. Absolutely no doubt about it, especially now the fact that our second choice keeper's moved on as well, and Anthony Sarcevic, he's just got that quality. We need him as well. But Southern Hales, obviously, I'd like to see him stay, but I know that he won't be back till around October time, they're saying. And obviously, he does have a very strong injury record. As much as a fan favourite he is, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they couldn't find an agreement, because of the fact, as I say, he just isn't available, I think, as much as he'd like to be, and as much as I think Dave Challoner would like him to be. So I'd be interested to see what happens with that. But as I say, some shocking news tonight that Paddy Madden's going to move on. I think it will take some days really to get over this. It'll take probably most of the week for that to sink in, but we won't have that player next season. But I'm sure that Stockport County, as I say, will add some brilliant quality to the side over the summer. I think we'll have to if we're going to take League One seriously. So it'll be interesting to see who comes in. But now that we've had this retain list, it does offer us a lot more clarity going into the the new season, which is always good. So yeah, I just want to get everyone's thoughts in the comment section below. How disappointed are you to see Paddy Madden move on? How disappointed are you to see Crowsdale move on? Is there any move that's shocked you in terms of a player leaving? Is there maybe a player that's stayed on that you thought may well moved on? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video as well. Subscribe if you are new, of course, as well. And as always, thanks for watching.